Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Normalness is Abnormal, episode 43. Tonight we're going to talk about really dumb questions that adults ask kids and teenagers. These questions are really annoying, but everyone does them. The first one is, do you remember? Now, a lot of times parents will ask you, do you remember so-and-so? But you saw them a year ago. Of course you remember them.
They used to come over all the time. Of course, I don't forget people that easily. And I remember people that came over when I was like 3. So it has, unless they really just came over once and I was asleep or preoccupied, I usually remember them. At least a little.
And sometimes people will ask you themselves, do you remember me? But that's just as bad, if not worse, probably. Well, just as bad.
Because they're like, do you remember me? And it's like, yeah. You used to have really funny hair. So yeah, that one, stay away from all do you remember questions unless you're saying something like, do you remember that time we got together and we played that prank on your uncle and he freaked out and got so scared he ran out of the house screaming and then passed out in the yard. Unless it's something
Those are the only do you remembers that you should ever bring
up. If you're reminiscing about something awesome or hilarious that happened, that's okay. It's okay if you share a common memory, but to say, do you remember me? Or do you remember so-and-so?
Yeah, those are bad. Also, do they treat you nice? Now, a lot of times, parents and family members will ask this question.
About all friends. Yeah. Our dad used to do it to every single friend. Friends we had known for years. Friends that we see, twice a week.
Even friends that we made the effort sometimes to stay in touch with.
Yeah, he's like, do they treat you nice? It's like, yeah, if they didn't treat us nice, we wouldn't want to hang out with them. They treat us nice. But a lot of times, if you're girls, whatever, the emphasis is on he. Does he treat you nice? And other members of your family can ask that question, like extended family. I was fairly recently with some extended family, and one of them had seen a picture of me with a friend on Facebook or something, and they brought him up and said, is he a good friend? Does he treat you nice? And I was like, yeah, he's really nice. He's great. He's good. And you don't know what to say.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have a picture of you with someone.
Well, we weren't the ones who posted it, but anyway, yeah. But
probably wouldn't post for a picture with someone who was awful.
Well, actually, I have before. But and then the thing that is is that when there really are people who don't treat you nice, they never ask. We've had people who legitimately did not treat us nicely.
Not anything horrible.
They didn't bully us or do anything horrendous, or if we would have taken them down. But people who don't really,
just aren't really that friendly.
No, and they never ask about those. They never ask, not once. They've asked about all of our really good friends, even the ones we've known our entire lives. But the ones who really are not that nice, no.
They know better than to ask that question, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that's really bad is, what do you do? That one is so annoying because you stutter. Adults that don't know you very well will ask you that question. What do you want to hear about? My entire life?
And recently I got asked that question, and when I described all the things I like to do, I sounded so much cooler than I actually am. I sounded really cool.
But first you stutter really badly.
Yeah, I was like, I do things, and my dad's like, what kind of things? Because your parents tried to give you a nudge, and they're like, say something.
Think of something.
Yeah. Even if you had to make it up.
I eat. I sleep.
I occasionally indulge in a social life. The next question is, what was your favorite part?
Everybody asks this question, whether it's about a movie, a vacation, a party, anything.
Again, it's not a bad question sometimes if you both shared in the experience. If you went on a vacation with a friend, and a year later they're like, so what was your favorite part? that's okay. As long as they're engaging in like a conversation, it's not just like, what was your favorite part of that movie?
Like, or get up on the stage and tell everybody your favorite part about camp. Sorry.
Sorry, we should leave that in. We should leave it in. What was your favorite part? Stay away from that question unless it's the common memory that you both shared. The fifth question and last question is, do you have a boyfriend? If you're a girl, you get asked this question. If you're a boy, you get asked, do you have a girlfriend? And I don't know how boys handle it, but girls, it's just like, no. Unless you do, then you talk about it. But I've never had a boyfriend.
No.
But,
so you just say no.
So you just say no, and then they're like, like, they don't believe you. So,
and then sometimes they'll press. You'll be like,
and then
you just have to escape the conversation.
Usually the way I get out of it is I'm like, ew, a boyfriend? That's gross. They look at your parents or you and they just kind of smile, or they look at your parents and they go, wait a few years. And you're like, hello, I'm almost 15. Of course it's not like...
It's not like I think they have cooties. I just don't want a boyfriend.
I don't have feelings towards a particular boy at this point. I'm not saying I don't find them attractive or anything like that. It's just that, like, I don't have one, but that doesn't mean wait a few years. It's
like a lot of times when you get that question, they're treating you like you're 7 and 18 at the same time.
Yeah, they're like, they want to know about your boyfriend, but if you don't have one, it's like...
That's just an annoying question a lot of times. Sometimes, if it's asked jokingly, asked as a joke, it's fine, but
or if you're legitimately asking a friend, do you have a boyfriend?
Well, any of these 5 questions are really... almost
harmless
okay.
questions,
and most of them in some form would be okay for friends to say. Well, except the what do you do? That's off limits. Everybody, no one says that.
Yeah. So
everybody says that, but
everybody says it, but nobody should.
No.
So just try to stay away from annoying questions that are patronizing. And kids, we should do one about bad questions kids ask adults, because they do the same thing.
It's like there's a language barrier between different age groups.
Yeah, so our word of wisdom for today comes from William Shakespeare's Hamlet.
I asked to be or not to be, that is the question.